UMFS celebrating for 20th, but don't even have for 20s in your savings.
That's in the car isn't in the car anymore. I'm gonna show you guys what cluster I got. Haven't made a video on it yet, but if you guys followed Instagram or TikTok, you guys already seen it. So I told you guys to follow me on there because you guys get updates faster, but I don't know how many times I gotta tell you. I'm gonna tell you in every video so that you know. But yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys the new cluster. This is the OEM cluster that came with the car. It's a 1997 DX. So I didn't get the RPM gauge. You can see fuel is over here, heat's over here, and then I have my speedo. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a cluster right now. Bam, and we're finally here. I'm gonna grab something so I can block off the light. I know you guys can't see it, but this will make do. As you guys can see, this is a CRV cluster. It comes with RPM gauge, and it has a little 8,000. Yeah, I already have it installed, but in today's video, I'm gonna take it all out and I'm gonna show you guys how to install a new cluster. Regardless the cluster that you get, there's so many options. You could go with the EX single cam cluster, which is basically the same one that I just showed you guys inside of the house, just with an RPM gauge. This is the CRV cluster. You know, damn, car channel, make noise. Well, yeah, so like I was saying, this is the CRV gauge cluster. You know, you got your SI, you got the SIR. There is so many clusters, I can't even name them all off to you. You know, they got the Type R also. There's many clusters, so yeah. This is for EK, Civic, Coupe, Sedan, or Hatch owners. This is how you guys install a cluster. As y'all can see, there's 2 screws, one right there, one right there. You guys are gonna want a small screwdriver like this because you can't get a long screwdriver to fit. So you're gonna get your 2 screws out, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right, so as you guys can see here, 2 screws are out. 2 that go, one right, hold on, right there, it's not focusing, and one right there. So now that I have those 2 out, basically all you're doing is just pulling on this. It's like 2 little clips that hold the bottom in. They pop up. I wouldn't recommend doing this in one hand. You don't want to break it. It's a 90s plastic, you guys, so you know 90s plastic breaks easily. So as you guys can see, the little cover over is gone. And then it leads to this. You see that screw there? Screw right there. 1 screw there, and 1 screw right there. I'll be right back when I get those 4 out. Also, I don't want to leave this out. You don't have to use the tiny screwdriver anymore, only for those 2 top screws. I use a regular, like, you know, long screwdriver to get in there for those last little bolts, because you don't want them to drop down and end up going in there. But yeah, I'll be back. All right, so now all the screws are out. So now you can literally just pull on it and it's free. All right, now you have this here. You have another clip here, and then there's another yellow one way to the back. I'm gonna start taking those out. Those are the only 3 that you need to clip, and those are the only 3 plugs that are in the actual cluster. So once you take those 3 out, then the cluster can come all the way out of the car. And I'll show you guys after I'm finished. All right, so now that you got all your wires and everything unplugged, you're slowly just gonna, you know what I'm saying, move it around. You flip it back up like if you were looking at it and it was in position, and it comes right up out the top. And there it is. Your cluster is out. All right, so now that you got your cluster out, we're just gonna act like this is your new cluster that you're gonna be putting in, even though I just took it out. But we're gonna be putting this cluster back inside of here so you guys see the install and uninstall. Let's get to it. All right, so now that I have the cluster back into where it's supposed to be at, before you go ahead and push the cluster way back in there, make sure to plug your plugs back in. I know somebody's gonna forget. You're like, oh, my cluster's not working. So make sure you grab your plugs. The plugs are back here. I can't show it on cam. I'm gonna show you guys once I get them plugged in, and then we'll proceed from there. All right, so as you guys can see, all the plugs are back in. This green one, don't worry about. It doesn't change how the cluster works. So as you guys can see, everything's in. So now at this point, you can start bringing it back. This is gonna be a little hard to do with one hand. All right, look. I got this thing set wrong. All right, look, boom. So how you set it is right there on top of this little centerpiece. It sits on top of it. Don't make it sit down here in front of it. You gotta make it sit right on top of it. And and it fits perfectly like this. All right, so now that the cluster is back into place, you're gonna be grabbing your 4 screws. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're gonna put those in right now. All right, so as you can see, all 4 are back in. Now, you're gonna grab your plastic trimming and we're going to put it back in. I'm pretty sure I can do this with one hand. It's not that hard, right? So all you do is press it down, push the top down first, pop it in spot, and go down to the back. Boom, boom. Uh-oh, I messed up. You see that? There we go. So now, it looks like it's not sitting seamless, but it is. Looks a little weird. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so now you guys can see it. I put the jacket up here because it's removing some of the glare. But as you guys can see now, it's all back in and it's flush. It looks perfect. And now all we need is to put back in is this bolt. Not bolt, but you know, that screw and that screw. And it's done. Alrighty, and now we're finished. The glare is insane. But as you guys can see, the screws are back in. Everything looks perfect. And yeah, if you have an EK Civic, this should help you out on replacing your cluster if you don't have RPM gauge. And even if you have RPM gauge, you just don't like the EX version, you want something different, yeah, this helps out too. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, see more content on the Civ, man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.